All right, so just continuing the preparation. We're in our short week here, so just trying to maximize the situation that we're in with the schedule. So I think guys have been attentive, but a lot of work to do, a lot of unique scheduling because they don't have class either. So just pushing through.
Maybe too early to tell this, but I know you said a lot, having that game at 11 and at home this week compared to last year. Can you sense the difference that this, a couple of days in, that was advantageous?
Yeah, I think a lot of things have been different. One, we game planned right or wrong. We game plan last week, which is very unusual week. So, to do that in another opponent week, and obviously a big difference in your body being done at that time. Our play count was much lower than playing an SEC game on the road. So I would certainly hope they would never set that up scheduling wise again, where one team's playing 11 o'clock non-conference at home and the other one's playing at night on the road in an SEC. So I think that's been beneficial. So I think our bodies will be a lot better.
Kind of answered a little bit my question right there. We talked about the preliminary game plan for this one during last week. Is that phase of game plan kind of equivalent to what it would be earlier in the week during a normal week?
Yeah, we just got ahead by taking time during last week, to look at things as offensive, defensive, special teams, to get ahead knowing this was a short week.
Lane, do you have to alter your preparation at all when you're going up against a team that's recently had a head coaching change like this one has?
I don't think so. I mean, when it's a new interim head coach, you don't know much about their style or what they do or how they manage a game, and not having a history outside of intern for a couple games in his career, it's not like you can study that. So it is what it is.
Will Rogers isn't statistically having one of his better seasons. He's been hurt and the new offense, but he's had big games against Ole Miss in the past. How do you balance scouting the guy you're seeing this year on tape versus the guy you've seen in person previously?
We know the player that he is and how he's pulled out games before and thrown for huge numbers in games. I think South Carolina this year, they threw the ball really well also. So, and I'm sure him getting back and having a game under his belt last week, probably will help him. So we're prepared to play a really good quarterback.
Not sure if y'all have crossed paths before, but what's your familiarity with Greg Knox?
I don't know him, so I don't have any.
Do you know anything about his coaching style, I guess, and what kind of takeaways do you have from the game you guys watched over the weekend, them playing Southern Miss?
I mean, obviously we're looking at scheme in the game and stuff, so I don't know that you can see a head coach impact in a game like that. So, again, I don't know him and don't really know much.
Question up top. Lane, you've used the term kind of house money before in the past, a few weeks ago before playing Georgia. Do you kind of get the sense that maybe a team with like an interim head coach is kind of playing with house money to an extent? And do you think that could kind of have a weird impact on a game?
Definitely. I think that there's some danger in that, kind of like a all-out factor of, we don't know whether this guy's, just our head coach for another game or whether maybe he could be the permanent head coach. So I think sometimes that doesn't work, and sometimes it works well because kids kind of just let it go. Usually a coach in these situations, usually just bring energy and be creative and try to be more of motivation than X's and O's, because it's hard to really change philosophies or X's and O's, in 1 or 2 weeks. So a lot of times they usually try to go the motivation route with the players.
And this is obviously your 4th Egg Bowl. You've been part of this rivalry for a couple of years now. Has there been anything you've kind of learned about it over the years, or does it, kind of feel differently? I mean, how does this game kind of compare to the others, and what have you learned from it, from participating in it?
Yeah, I think unlike just a normal rivalry game, learning the Thursday aspect of the scheduling and, getting a good plan with that because haven't been a part of a lot of Thursday night games, short week in college football. So I think there's some stuff to that to get used to. And again, the last year's schedule was very bizarre of, playing so late on a Saturday night on the road. So I think there's some of that. And I think too, like some things, you have a different view of it when you lose it. So, we had the trophy here for a couple years, and then lost it last year. So I hope that makes the players even want it back more than just, having it here the whole time.
Kind of off-topic question here, but I guess Knox drove a four-wheeler to the locker room. Everything good there? Everybody okay after that?
I mean, I saw that. I thought that was pretty cool. And, you guys know Wilson Love from before, so it reminded me, I remember him doing the same thing one time in a summer workout, driving a four-wheeler around to try to get the guys excited. So pretty cool.
Kind of going off John's question, I know you and Mike Leach, when y'all first came here, kind of played a role in kind of simmering things down when it comes to kind of the rivalry aspect of it from fans' perspective. But just having a couple of these underneath your belt, are you surprised of just how much it means to people in the state of Mississippi, especially with some of the other rivalries that you've been a part of as a coach?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty well noted. This is, because of it being on TV so much, I think nationally people understand kind of the in-state rivalry and the hatred in it, and some crazy events over the years happening in these games. So I think I'm pretty familiar with it. It's very passionate fan bases for this game.
I guess being your fourth Egg Bowl, where do you stand on, I guess, kind of managing that passion with your players? Is that something that you're going to try to play into? How are you going to approach that?
No, we just got to prepare really well and play really well. And I feel like we've done that, 2 or 3 games. And so we don't really build it up and do different things and stuff. And I don't worry too much about them being too excited for it because in this day and age, most of these guys or a lot of the guys in the room, haven't been a part of this rivalry or know very much, which sometimes can be good too, not to be overexcited and get penalties and try to do different things than you normally do.
One more top.
I mean, you talk about nationally how everyone kind of knows about the nastiness of this rivalry, but I mean, how have you kind of noticed your players kind of acknowledge that, like in the locker room? How much kind of a nastiness have you noticed it from the player side of things, especially the ones in your team that are from Mississippi where this game means so much?
I mean, I really haven't noticed that. But again, I know that it's in there, and but I think they just, get ready, and this is a weird schedule for them, and coming back and doing all the stuff early like this, I think they're just, trying to get used to that.
Against ULM, how did the offensive line grade out, and what can you do if not such a great game to fix it?
We gave up a lot of negative plays in that game, which doesn't necessarily mean all offensive line. Sometimes that's a back stopping his feet or, a tight end, doing something, or a quarterback taking a sack. But we did not play great by any means up front. So we'll continue to look at things and, maybe get some help back injury-wise and just go from there.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, guys.